It is said that Camilla has just been moved out of the castle, and the story behind it intrigues us all.
An unprecedented earthquake has officially erupted within the British royal family after a top-secret document in Queen Camilla's private office was accidentally discovered. The letter exposed an ambition to seize power, along with a chain of sophisticated financial embezzlement schemes designed to serve dark personal calculations. Faced with a bitter betrayal from the person closest to him, King Charles III became furious and immediately cast a covert investigative net to strip away every layer of the truth. Yet that secret investigation uncovered an even more terrifying reality. Camilla had been regularly sneaking off to meet an opportunistic businessman obsessed with fame and profit at her private residence, Ray Mill House. From that point on, a series of suspicious actions and explosive pieces of evidence were increasingly dragged into the light, threatening to completely destroy the palace's credibility. What irrefutable evidence will emerge next to fully expose Camilla's alleged scheme? How will King Charles III confront the horrifying truth once it has been completely laid bare? And what final judgment will determine the fate of those who betrayed him? According to internal reports from the British media, the atmosphere inside Buckingham Palace recently descended into an extreme state of tension after an unexpected incident erupted, threatening to trigger a new earthquake within the British royal family. Sources close to the matter said the incident began with an accidental oversight by a palace attendant while carrying out routine cleaning duties in the area of Queen Camilla's private office. While rearranging several personal documents that had been left behind on the desk, the attendant inadvertently discovered a top-secret letter of an extraordinarily sensitive nature. The contents of the document immediately sent shockwaves through internal circles because of details believed to be directly connected to efforts to consolidate power and financial control within the royal family. Based on information leaked from royal observers, the letter inadvertently revealed Queen Camilla's enormous personal ambitions and plans. Specifically, analytical reports indicated that the document expressed a desire to expand her influence in order to seize deeper control over internal affairs. Even more notably, the letter reportedly referred to methods of embezzling royal funds on a regular daily basis in order to accumulate an enormous fortune. According to royal news analysts, the primary purpose of this illicit financial accumulation was to finance the construction of a completely private personal estate, while simultaneously guaranteeing a luxurious and sustainable lifestyle for herself, as well as for her children from her previous marriage in the future. The secret document was said to go far beyond financial matters. It allegedly also laid out systematic schemes aimed at smearing the reputations and undermining the credibility of other important members of the royal family. These were all individuals close to the king people who had long enjoyed the absolute trust of King Charles III and were expected to be granted greater executive authority in the future. The alleged plans to orchestrate a decline in the public image of these members were viewed as a strategic move designed to consolidate the Queen's exclusive position within the royal power structure. Shocked and shaken by information that could cause severe damage to the image of the royal family, the attendant did not keep the matter to themselves. Recognizing both the importance of the document and the scale of the impact it could have, the individual made an extraordinarily risky yet necessary decision to immediately take the top-secret letter directly to King Charles III and report everything in person. This sudden act of disclosure officially ignited a chain of subsequent upheavals within the palace, pushing the entire affair into a phase of investigation more tense and relentless than ever before. How will King Charles III respond to this shocking truth, and what furious orders will the king immediately issue? According to internal sources from Buckingham Palace, the atmosphere inside King Charles III's office immediately plunged into a state of extreme tension the moment he received the secret letter from the attendant. His shock quickly turned into overwhelming fury as the king personally read every line that clearly revealed Queen Camilla's ambitions and personal calculations. Unable to remain calm in the face of what was regarded as a grave betrayal of both personal trust and the royal institution, King Charles III immediately summoned senior advisors and independent financial inspectors to carry out a large-scale review that very night. According to leaked reports, the emergency audit immediately exposed extraordinarily serious irregularities within the palace's cash flow management system. The initial inspection showed that a very large amount of money from the royal budget had been steadily disappearing day after day. More disturbingly, all of the missing funds through sophisticated transfer channels had flowed directly into Queen Camilla's personal accounts and private financial holdings. The situation became even worse when inspectors discovered that in order to keep the withdrawals running smoothly for a long period without detection, Camilla had deliberately used money and personal influence to directly bribe employees responsible for the Royal Finance Department. These staff members had helped conceal the activity, falsify documents, and legitimize suspicious expenditures in order to deceive higher levels of management. This harsh truth left King Charles III shaken. To immediately stop the continuing financial losses and protect the royal family's funds, the king stood before senior officials and issued a series of extraordinarily forceful declarations. Internal sources directly quoted King Charles III's commanding and resolute order before the Inspection Council and his closest aides. "I cannot believe what is happening inside this very palace. This is a serious violation of the discipline, honor, and property of the British royal family." Immediately within the next hour, I require the financial inspection team to coordinate with the relevant banking institutions and carry out a complete freeze. Issue an order freezing every personal account, every private fund, as well as every financial resource registered under the name of Queen Camilla, without a single exception. Not one penny is to be moved or withdrawn from those accounts from this moment onward. At the same time, I order the entire royal budget system to be locked down, and all expenditures originating from the Queen's office are to cease being approved until every corner of this matter has been brought fully into the light. We must protect every single unit of the budget and allow no further suspicious activity to continue. Any financial employee involved in concealing, assisting, or accepting bribes in this matter must be suspended from duty immediately in order to serve the investigation. This matter must be dealt with thoroughly without leniency, and it cannot be delayed by even a single minute. King Charles III's forceful order was delivered in absolute silence throughout the entire room. Every decree was immediately issued and implemented that very night, marking an extraordinarily decisive turning point in the king's effort to restore order and stop all of the financial resources that were continuing to leak away. The freezing of all Camilla's private accounts, together with the complete lockdown of the budget, officially pushed the relationship between King Charles III and the Queen into a direct crisis, opening the way for developments of extraordinary tension within the palace. How will Camilla react when she discovers that all of her personal accounts have been frozen? And just how intense will the direct confrontation between her and King Charles III become? According to sources from inside the palace, the sudden freezing of all her personal accounts, together with the order to completely lock down the budget, left Queen Camilla both deeply shocked and furious. Unable to maintain her composure, she immediately went to King Charles III's private office to demand a clear explanation. The door burst open, and the atmosphere inside instantly became suffocating and intensely tense. Camilla bluntly confronted him in an extremely agitated tone. "Your Majesty, I truly cannot understand what is happening inside this palace. Why have all of my personal accounts suddenly been frozen in such an unreasonable manner? Even the budget allocated for the daily operations of my office has been completely locked down, without so much as a single advance notice. Who authorized the inspectors to carry out such an unprecedented action against the Queen? This is a serious insult to my honor and position. I demand that Your Majesty immediately lift this freeze and give me a satisfactory explanation right now." In complete contrast to Camilla's anger and harshness, King Charles III remained seated silently behind his desk. His gaze was contemplative and calm, yet beneath that stillness lay a profound sense of scrutiny. The king did not directly answer why the accounts had been frozen, nor did he mention the secret letter or the audit that had just taken place. Instead, he slowly looked Camilla straight in the eyes and posed a deeply suggestive question, one that cut directly into her psyche. "I think that before demanding an explanation about numbers or bank accounts, you should first take a hard look at yourself. Think very carefully and answer me this. Throughout all this time, have you ever done anything wrong, committed any act that went against my trust, or made any plan that could damage the reputation or threaten the survival of the royal family? The piercing question, together with the king's icy stare, struck Camilla like a bucket of cold water thrown directly in her face. Her initial confidence and sharp attitude vanished instantly, replaced by overwhelming confusion and panic. Faced with a question that struck directly at the truth she had been concealing, Camilla fell completely silent, unable to utter a single word of defense or denial. Seeing Camilla's evasive reaction and prolonged silence, King Charles III let out a troubled sigh. Disappointment was clearly visible on the king's face as his suspicions gradually began to be confirmed. Realizing that there was nothing more to say during this meeting, Charles fell completely silent, turned his back, and refused to continue the conversation, leaving Camilla standing there in the suffocating atmosphere. But the matter did not end there. The following day, with his suspicions continuing to grow, King Charles III decided to expand the covert investigation in order to uncover every abnormal activity. According to reports from royal news observers, this secret investigation uncovered one extraordinarily important detail. Camilla had been regularly making covert visits to her private residence at Ray Mill House. Immediately, the private investigators personally assigned by the king began closely monitoring the area surrounding the Ray Mill House estate. There, the investigative team spotted an unfamiliar man repeatedly entering and leaving the property at unusual hours. Through identity verification measures and the collection of background records, the results showed that this individual was an ambitious businessman who was doing everything possible to force his way into elite society, despite lacking sufficient influence and social standing of his own. Connecting the entire chain of events, from the discovered letter and the missing royal budget funds to the appearance of the mysterious businessman at Ray Mill House, King Charles III arrived at a crucial conclusion. Camilla was involved in a suspicious relationship with this businessman in order to accumulate financial resources, take the money to live with him, and prepare for even darker and more dangerous plans in the future. How will King Charles III and his closest aides gather the evidence needed to expose the full nature of the dark relationship unfolding at Ray Mill House? According to confidential reports from inside the palace, in order to bring the entire matter fully into the light without leaving behind any legal loopholes, King Charles III understood that the initial suspicions were not enough. The king needed the most concrete evidence possible, evidence capable of perfectly reinforcing the entire investigation. For that reason, Charles's closest aide was entrusted with leading an extraordinarily sensitive operation, coordinating closely with a team of loyal royal bodyguards to organize a covert break-in at the Ray Mill House estate. Before the operation began, the trusted aide personally conveyed King Charles III's strict orders to every member of the infiltration team. Everything we do tonight will be decisive for the safety and honor of the royal family. His Majesty has given clear instructions. We must obtain the most concrete evidence possible, and not even the smallest mistake can be allowed to occur. The bodyguard team outside must quickly find a way to distract the local security personnel at Ray Mill House as naturally as possible. Take full advantage of the golden window when both Queen Camilla and that businessman are away, and the technical team must immediately slip inside. Quickly install a sophisticated surveillance camera system in the key blind spots of the study and the living room. We need to record every single action, every conversation, and every transaction they carry out in full. Maintain absolute secrecy and leave behind no trace whatsoever that could indicate someone entered the property. Everyone must act swiftly, precisely, and strictly according to plan. Immediately after the order was fully communicated, the royal bodyguard team rapidly put the operational plan into motion. They skillfully created an unexpected situation outside the grounds in order to divert the attention of the entire security force stationed around Ray Mill House. The moment the guards' attention was drawn elsewhere, the trusted aide and technical team seized the opportunity and quickly slipped inside the house. During the brief period when both Camilla and the businessman were absent, the infiltration team silently installed miniature surveillance cameras at strategic locations, then withdrew safely, without leaving behind anything that could arouse suspicion. Only a short time after the camera system became operational, the live images and audio it captured left King Charles III and his aides stunned. The horrifying truth was finally exposed in full. Camilla and the mysterious businessman were working together to carry out a large-scale conspiracy to steal and sell highly classified documents belonging to the British royal family. Based on the visual evidence that had been collected, the operating methods and division of responsibilities between the two individuals were revealed in precise detail. Within this operation, Camilla's direct task was to exploit her position and authority to gain access to copy and then secretly leak the palace's plans for major international events to outside parties. In addition, she also supplied the complete detailed list of premium goods that the British royal family was preparing to purchase in large quantities for major ceremonies and diplomatic activities. After receiving this valuable intelligence from Camilla, the businessman would immediately activate the next stage of the plan. He used his capital and business network to quietly buy up the entire available supply of those goods across both domestic and international markets, deliberately creating an artificial shortage. Then, as the date of the royal family's event approached, the palace would be forced to search urgently for supplies, and would have no other option but to agree to repurchase all of those goods directly from the businessman at exorbitantly inflated prices. Through this sophisticated method of manipulating the market and forcing the palace into inflated prices, the businessman was expected to make enormous profits. The massive difference in profit would then be secretly shared directly with Camilla, allowing the two of them to rapidly accumulate and build an enormous private fortune of their own. This entire elaborate profiteering scheme was captured in full by the hidden camera system, becoming solid evidence for the king's next course of action. Now, holding this invaluable video evidence in his hands, how will King Charles III order the bodyguards to storm in and catch the two traitors red-handed? According to internal sources from Buckingham Palace, after the full extent of the profiteering scheme and the video footage documenting the conspiracy to trade highly classified documents at Mill House had been brought to light, the situation entered an extraordinarily tense phase. With no doubt remaining, King Charles III understood that this was a grave violation of the security and dignity of the royal family. Faced with such an exceptionally serious matter, the king immediately issued a direct order requiring the royal bodyguards to act at once and apprehend the suspects. During an emergency closed-door meeting with the commander of the security team, King Charles III issued a forceful order. Every act of their betrayal has been captured by the surveillance system, without a single detail being missed. We can no longer tolerate this or allow even another moment to pass. I order the royal bodyguards to immediately coordinate with the security units on duty, establish covert positions around the Mill House area, and patiently wait for the most appropriate moment. The instant Queen Camilla and that businessman arrange their next meeting to conduct a transaction, you must move in immediately and catch them red-handed. Seal off every entrance and exit, secure the scene on the spot, and carry out a full inspection and search of all luggage and bags belonging to both individuals. We must immediately seize every document and file in their possession before they can be smuggled outside. Once all of the evidence has been secured, immediately escort both suspects back to the palace to face me directly in a confrontation. Following the king's instructions precisely, the royal bodyguards quickly deployed a covert perimeter around the Mill House estate. They silently monitored every movement, waiting for the moment when the two suspects would come face to face. Just as expected, only a short time later, Camilla and the businessman held a private meeting in the study to exchange the documents that had just been collected. Realizing that the moment was ripe, the bodyguard commander immediately gave the order to move in. Security forces suddenly stormed straight inside and secured the scene, leaving both Camilla and the businessman completely stunned, without enough time to make any attempt to dispose of the evidence. Right there at the scene, the bodyguards carried out an emergency inspection and search of the personal belongings of both suspects. The search of Camilla's handbag and the businessman's briefcase uncovered a series of exceptionally important royal documents. These included plans for international events, as well as lists of premium goods scheduled for procurement that were apparently about to be smuggled out. The presence of these files inside their personal bags during the secret meeting constituted ironclad evidence that, according to the investigation, could not be denied. The commander of the bodyguard unit firmly declared in front of everyone present, "Everyone remain where you are. We are carrying out this operation under the direct order of His Majesty King Charles III. Through an on-site inspection and search, we have discovered and seized all of these important royal documents directly from your bags and luggage while they were being prepared for removal. These are clear and undeniable pieces of evidence concerning a breach of royal security. At this moment, all of these materials will be strictly sealed in accordance with procedure. Both Queen Camilla and you are required to immediately comply with our instructions and submit to being escorted back to Buckingham Palace for a direct confrontation before the king. Immediately after completing the official record and sealing all of the seized evidence at the scene, the royal bodyguards placed both Camilla and the businessman into a designated security vehicle and escorted them under strict guard away from Ray Mill House. The vehicle quickly headed straight back to the palace under close supervision, bringing both suspects into the most direct and tense confrontation yet before King Charles III. Faced with ironclad evidence that cannot be denied and a direct confrontation inside the palace, what severe judgment will King Charles III deliver to punish those responsible? According to internal sources from Buckingham Palace, the atmosphere inside the Grand Confrontation Hall had never been so dark and oppressive. After being escorted directly from Ray Mill House back to the palace by the royal bodyguards, Queen Camilla and the profit-hungry businessmen were forced to stand face-to-face with King Charles III. On the king's desk lay all of the ironclad evidence from video footage capturing their secret discussions to a series of important royal documents seized from their bags when the two were caught red-handed. Seeing the undeniable evidence laid out before her, Camilla completely broke down. No longer able to maintain her usual pride or composure, she collapsed to the floor, tears streaming down her face as she desperately pleaded far too late. "Your Majesty Charles, please have mercy and listen to me one last time. I know I have made a terrible mistake. I allowed blindness and reckless calculations to corrupt me. But I beg you, please remember the years we spent together. How many storms we endured, how much pressure from public opinion we overcame just to be able to stand beside each other. I beg you to give me one chance to correct this mistake. Do not take everything away from me. Do not cast me out of the royal family in such a bitter way. I swear I will abandon all of my personal plans, return all of the money, and live in seclusion to repent. Please show me mercy and lessen the punishment. Please do not treat me like a stranger." Camilla's desperate sobs and anguished pleas echoed throughout the suffocating room. Standing before the woman who had remained beside him through so many historic upheavals, King Charles III could not help but feel profound sorrow. The king's eyes clearly revealed immense pain and deep disappointment, as the absolute trust he had placed in her had been cruelly betrayed. However, as the head of the British royal family, he understood that honor, the strictness of the law, and the survival of the institution could not allow any weakness or personal emotion to interfere. Swallowing his pain, King Charles III rose to his feet, looked directly at the two individuals kneeling below, and slowly delivered his final verdict in a commanding and resolute manner. "What has happened today is one of the bitterest and most painful tragedies for me personally, as well as for the entire British royal family. I once gave you my complete trust, affection, and deepest respect, but what I have received in return today is a betrayal that cannot be forgiven. The attempts to seize power, the embezzlement of royal funds, and above all, the theft and betrayal of the palace's highly classified documents to an outsider for personal profit have gravely violated the dignity and security of the royal family. Faced with this clear and indisputable evidence, however deeply it pains me, I am compelled to impose the harshest punishment in order to preserve discipline and order. As for the businessman, You exploited greed to infiltrate, steal, and conspire to sell royal documents, causing serious harm to the economy and the honor of the palace. I hereby order that all case files and physical evidence be immediately transferred to the judicial authorities. You will be thrown into prison at once and subjected to the harshest punishment permitted by law. And as for you, Camilla, your pleas have come far too late. In my capacity as sovereign, I hereby officially declare that all of your royal titles, privileges, designations, and your position as queen are stripped from you from this very moment. You are expelled from the royal family immediately and permanently forbidden from interfering in or setting foot in any internal affairs of the palace ever again. Royal guards, carry out this order immediately. Escort the businessman to prison and remove Camilla from the royal domain right now. The moment King Charles III finished delivering his forceful verdict, the royal bodyguards immediately stepped forward to carry out the order. The businessman was placed in handcuffs and taken away to be imprisoned, while Camilla was escorted out of the palace in complete humiliation and despair. The royal doors officially closed behind her, bringing to an end one of the darkest and most shocking chapters in the modern history of the British royal family. How do you feel about King Charles III's decisive verdict and the ending that Queen Camilla received in this story? In your opinion, what deeper meaning or lesson does this tense series of events offer about loyalty, ambition, and trust in life? Before you go, we'd just like to say thank you. Every story you watch here is the result of hours of research and careful storytelling. If you enjoyed today's video, we'd truly appreciate your like and subscription. We know it takes a few extra seconds on a TV remote, but your support helps us keep creating even more thoughtful, high-quality stories.